Now, Heartland Sports with Todd Richards.
Hello again, everyone. The Cape Catfish could be on the verge of winning the Prospect League Championship, but they still have some more work to do. The Catfish packed it up early this afternoon for the 5-hour bus trip. They left from Kappahaw Field and took the trip out toward Lafayette, Indiana to play the Lafayette Aviators in Game 1 of the best of three Prospect League Championship Series. Tomorrow night is when it all begins with Game 1. The Catfish players talked about their team's confidence level heading into the title round.
I think we're pretty confident. I don't think it's a cockiness. I think, we know the type of baseball that we're playing. We're playing good defense. We're throwing the heck out of the baseball, and if we keep doing that, good things will happen.
Aviators is a tough team. They've got a couple good guys. They've got some Big Ten guys, some Power 5 guys, but we've strung together a couple good games, and I think we're all confident. We've got good chemistry, and we feel good.
They're a group of very confident kids, and I think they believe they'll win.
The Catfish and Aviators will throw out the first pitch at 6 p.m. tomorrow night in Lafayette. Now, Cape has home field advantage, which means they'll host a game Thursday and, if necessary, Friday as well. The two games at Kappahaw Field, the start times would be 6:35. Babe Ruth World Series, the Charleston Fighting Squirrels, what an effort there. They defeat the host team, Ocala, Florida, 10-0 to improve to 2-0 in the tournament, while the Dexter Youth Ball Club, 18 and under team, falls to Gulf Coast, Alabama, 12-2. Meanwhile, talking some Colt World Series, host Marion loses to Puerto Rico 9-5, and Southern Illinois falls to Youngstown, Ohio, 5-0. Tomorrow night is the championship night at Mountain Dew Park in Marion. Well, the Cardinals and Dodgers, unfortunately, that game is now 1-1, has flipped into the 6th inning to update it. Mason Wynn with a solo homer for St. Louis. Freddie Freeman, a home run for the Dodgers. Sonny Gray is on the mound for St. Louis. Well, here's something to get excited about. The Southern Illinois Fall Coaches Dinner coming up August 20th at the Heron Elks. By the way, organizers will hand out Coach of the Year plaques in 17 different sports. They expect to have 150 to 200 coaches in attendance. Pretty cool event, very good. Meanwhile, the SEMO Showdown 5-0 plus pickleball tournament provided some outstanding play yesterday at Freedom Fitness in Jackson. An emotional moment before the tournament. USA District Pickleball Ambassador Doug Brown honored the late Dr. Sarah Eit, who has been named to the first Hall of Fame, player at Freedom Fitness. How cool is that? A much-deserved honor. By the way, Sarah would appreciate this great play on the court. Eli Stein and Jonathan Moore both work at Freedom Fitness up there in management. They're great pickleball players. Ben Hansbrough, the former Poplar Bluff great in basketball, of course, played in the NBA. He's a pickleball player. Winning team, Wesley Miller and Jaden Wing from St. Louis. Freedom Fitness will host an all-skills level tourney the weekend of October 17th. And finally, the NCAA has decided not to expand the men's and women's basketball tournaments beyond 68 teams in 2026. Discussions about possibly expanding the 72 or 76 teams for the 2027 tournaments remain ongoing. NCAA President Charlie Baker believes adding teams could enhance the tournament's value.